we're talking to a person who has a lot of connections in various ways with the Haight Street culture, and we're going to talk about the proposed sit-lie ordinance that the mayor and the police chief, George Gascon, are proposing for San Francisco. And this is Sunday, March 21st, 2010. Is it okay with you if this goes on YouTube?
Sure.
Excellent. Can you tell me your name?
My name is Joey Paxman.
And can you explain all of you work for two businesses on Haight Street, you live in the Haight, and you're involved with the Homeless Youth Alliance, and you came to the Police Commission meeting, what was it, last week?
Correct.
And did you testify about this, or just sit in the back there?
I unfortunately had to leave early as well.
But you were prepared.
So I wasn't able to testify. I was prepared, but there was actually, which was great, there was an overwhelmingly amount of people who were there to speak out against that lie, and I didn't have the time to stay and speak myself.
So you work for Bound Together Bookstore, which is an anarchist bookstore. You work around the corner for Coffee to the People.
Yeah.
And it's right at the corner of
Haight and
Masonic. And you live
on Ashbury and Page.
Okay.
Where I've lived for almost 2 years now.
Okay.
And I also volunteer down at the Homeless Youth Alliance, which is Haight and Cole.
And you lead an art group there.
I wouldn't say I'm the one that leads it, but I help out. I volunteer on that day. Sometimes I also volunteer for days in the drop-in center as well. Okay.
You were telling me a little bit about the art that some of the youth on Haight Street were doing. Can you just explain that just briefly?
Yeah. Well, Christine, who works for the Homeless Youth Alliance, she is the one who had started this art group, and they put together a quarterly zine. And so basically they provide a space as well as supplies for some of the homeless youth here in the Haight to come and do art.
And what was that last project about? That was about...
Right now they're working on a zine that will be focused on police issues, whether it be police brutality, knowing your rights, and they're asking, we've been asking some of the homeless youth around here to write down their experiences that they have had, namely here in the Haight, but also in San Francisco at large. But just their experience, write down their experiences that they've had with the police, which of course ends up being mostly negative.
Yeah, to draw about it and to write about it.
Yeah, and we've also had some who are submitting drawings depicting life in the Haight.
So, can you tell me what you would have said to the police commission had you been able to stay?
Yes. One of the things I found very troubling with sit-lie is they're claiming that business owners and those who work here in the Haight, they're claiming that we are so worried, we are so afraid of the homeless here and some of the problems here that we actually cannot call the police. They claim that we're living in the state of fear, and whenever there's a problem, we cannot call the police because we fear retribution, whether it be in the form of physical violence, property destruction, such as broken windows. So they say that people here will not call the cops. They just deal with it, and that we get bullied.
So what's the truth of it?
And the truth of it is that it's not true at all. For one, we do not get bullied. Two, every day that we do have a problem here in the Haight, like at the coffee shop, I mean, I have to kick people out on a daily basis.
For what?
For whatever, you know. And I must say, it's usually not the homeless youth, but we do have to kick people out of the coffee shop for anything. You know, they could come in, they don't buy anything, and they'll say, okay, that's fine, you can use the bathroom, you know, get some water. But then, I'd say if somebody's drunk, just whatever they're doing to cause a problem, we'll kick them out. It's never a problem. We kick them out, they leave. They do not come back. Sometimes they will come back the next day and apologize. They will apologize for their behavior. You know, they say, sorry, I was having a bad day. You know, I got off of work and got drunk.
But these are not necessarily homeless people.
No, that's the thing. In fact, most of the homeless kids in the Haight, they want to make a good impression on us because they want to be able to come back and get coffee. They want to be able to come back, get coffee, get soup on a rainy day and have a warm place to sit. They don't want to ruin that. They don't want to ruin a good thing.
Right.
And we find that when there is a problem, it's usually a very select few. And that's the problem. This is another problem with sit-lie, is people never look the homeless in the face. So when they're walking down the street and somebody's hassling them, and they go to wherever they're going, and then they turn around and come back the same block, they get hassled by the same person. But they never stopped and looked that person in the face. And they think that they just got hassled by two different people. But it's usually the same person. It's usually a problematic few. Maybe even only a problematic one or two. Even then, I usually find that those problematic individuals are just traveling through, and they will be gone within a week, month, sometimes up to a year.
And then they come back. I have heard that there is a small group of people who even the homeless folks who are travelers are afraid of. Do you know anything about that?
Quite honestly, I do not.
Okay. All right. So from your perspective, as somebody who's involved in a business, this whole need for this sit-lie thing has been pretty much concocted.
Yes.
You would say that?
I'd say 100% concocted.
Okay. Why do you think that they've concocted this? What do you think is the purpose behind this?
Well, I think they actually admitted why they did it. They said that if they pass a law such as sit-lie, they don't need an excuse. They don't need anyone to call the cops. That's what they've said.
They don't need a witness.
They don't need a witness. They can take somebody to court. They will be prosecuted in court, and whatever done, whether, they said 30 days in jail, fine, without not one single witness, without one single complaint.
So why do you think they want the power to do that?
Well, because it's power. That's the thing. It's power in and of itself that they want.
Whatever the reason they want that power, you're leaving that open to question.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I guess I am leaving that open.
Okay.
It's kind of a scary thought why they do feel that they need that much power, especially over a neighborhood as safe as the Haight. Go talk to anyone who's lived in San Francisco. Ask them where they feel the safest in San Francisco. I guarantee that one of the places they will say is the Haight.
Okay, thank you. This has been wonderful. And I'm going to just say you work at Coffee to the People, which is on the corner of Haight and Masonic, and at the Bound Together bookstore, which is around the corner.
Yes.